I'm Esme,
And I'm now.
and today we are going to be talking about La La Land for reals. Promise.
It's been a while in the making.
2 weeks, 2 whole weeks. They've just been a busy 2 weeks, guys.
Just have other stuff to do.
Other stuff on the mind, like my actual dissertation.
My dissertation less so, but it's getting there.
It's getting there. It's developing. Let's get into the news because there's a lot. When I sat down to write out the news, I was like, I don't feel like there's been a lot. And then
Mm,
I was able to put together this massive list quite quickly. Although
yeah.
two of the biggest things for me personally happened in the past 24 hours. So there's that. First off, this is on. I would like to set the scene of where I was when I found this out because I found it hilarious,
Mhm.
deeply, deeply funny. I was in my lecture about mental health and disability, and I checked my phone, and there is the announcement that Next to Normal will be airing on PBS. So we knew that they'd recorded the pro shot. And I was going best day of my life, worst day of my life, you know? But I was kind of like, it's like, you know how they record pro shots and then you just kind of like, are like, yeah, it's getting recorded. Who cares? Like, think about
It
it
just
2 years.
kind of stays in a vault for a couple of years.
Yeah, yeah, like who knows when it's actually going to see the light of day.
Mm.
That's how I'm currently feeling about the Hades Town pro shot.
The thing is they have done because they filmed a video of them filming the pro shot,
Yes, I saw that.
which makes me think they are going to release it soon.
We need to do a drinking game and watch that pro shot.
But we're going to
Every
get
time,
fucked up.
every time I cry.
Okay, well, just based off our past experience, that was in like the third song. So, like,
Every time Hades walks cuntily,
oh,
take a drink.
oh, and he's gonna have his little boot on.
But yeah, we're gonna get fucked. It's gonna be so fun. Um, I assume that they're definitely in talks with a streamer for the Hades Town one.
I reckon as well it's popular enough that it'll probably get a pretty big distribution.
Yeah, the
Because next to normal is just US right now.
next to normal, I was like, we ain't seen that for like 5 to 10 years. I was like, bye girl, see you in 5 years.
To be
Um,
fair, PBS, they also
good.
did SpongeBob, didn't they?
No, that was Nickelodeon.
What else aired on PBS? What
They're
pro
at
shot
the
aired on
piazza.
PBS? Handstand? Handstand was PBS.
Bandstand, light in the piazza.
Okay.
Um, I I love Next to Normal. If you couldn't tell, I love to make jokes about it, but I really do love Next to Normal. I think it's one of not just like on a personal level, but I also think it's one of the best written musicals of like of at least the 2000s,
Hmm.
possibly in the last 20 years. You know, feel very passionately about this show. Um, And let's just say, know what should be like in my life, but if there was a certain very specific next to normal bootleg that I rinsed the shit out of as a teenager, hypothetically there is one out there. Um, so I like the fact that it's getting because PBS in America is like our BBC.
Yeah.
Like from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody has access to it,
Yeah, I think so.
and so I'm so glad that that's how it's getting out there because I don't know, man. I think I like the idea of people unintentionally stumbling across next to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, everyone was just so talented.
Oh, it was incredible.
Casey Levy, I love you. She is exceptional. Jack Wolf, amazing. Eleanor Worthington Cox. I don't feel like we talk about her enough as Natalie.
Oh,
I
she was
don't.
incredible.
I don't think we talk about it enough because everyone's going hot sun, hot dead sun. Spoilers for next to normal. Hot dead sun. I'm like, yeah, but like the sun doesn't really have an arc. He's just kind
But
of
you
there to
know, sad, depressed
terrorize.
daughter, sad, depressed daughter.
Who's addicted to her mother's pills, you know? Who gets to sing some banger rock tunes, you know? Um, so yeah. Also, it's good. It's a good thing. I should have access to a next normal pro shot.
Yeah, there's part of me that's like very happy it got a pro shot.
Yes.
I'll ever watch it.
No. I've said to one of my friends, I was like, you should watch this because it's good.
Mm,
And she was like, oh, we should watch it together. And I was like, no, no, we're not doing that.
no.
No, no, I have to watch it in a darkened theater where I can't do anything too crazy because I'm in public.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like those rules should be applied to Hades Town as well, but am I going to abide by that?
How many times have you seen Hades Town? Let's discuss this.
5. I saw Next to Normal 3 times.
Which was incredible for such a limited run.
It's like every year. I was thinking about this. Every year or so, I pick a show and unintentionally go a crazy number of times. I remembered this morning that I saw Oklahoma three
Yeah, I was gonna say
times.
Oklahoma is the other one.
Oklahoma.
Weird ass Oklahoma.
Weird ass Oklahoma, because I was thinking about a lecture and I was like, if I was in London and there was a cheap enough ticket, I would go just based on how much I loved weird ass Oklahoma.
What's it gonna be this year?
There are two where I'm like, I have a although it kind of has to be something that takes me completely by surprise.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. This time last year, I didn't love Hades Town.
No. I mean, no. Have we seen it by this point last year?
No, we saw it literally like this week last year. We saw it on like the 17th or the 27th. 27th of March.
Let me check my review. Hold on.
It's the day I got my braces off. Also, I enjoyed
Oh
the
yeah.
review.
Oh, thank you.
You said the quiet part out loud.
I wrote an essay. Follow me
Nell
on
wrote an
Mezzanine.
essay yeah, if you want to see, oh, I agree with Nell's review. If you want to see her review on Mezzanine, she said the quiet part out loud.
One of the things as well is I was being nice. Like I don't know if you caught on when you were reading. I was being nice.
You were being nice.
I was
I
like, it might just not be for me.
I avoided talking about the subject. I was like, I'm going to talk about what was amazing.
So did I. I talked about what was amazing as well. Let's be clear.
You were balanced. I lied.
I just put in maybe let's say one paragraph.
See, my
But,
paragraph would have veered off into. Also, an Irish Orpheus is back in the building.
you see the performance last night was cancelled.
Yeah, no, yesterday after matinee was, so that's because, and then second cover Orpheus had to go on. He's Irish. Yeah. And because he didn't know the guitar parts for it yet, they backed up Epic 1 with the piano.
That's incredible.
Do you want me to send you the bootleg that I saw on TikTok?
Yeah. I would never watch bootleg, but I mean if you happen to send it to me.
If I have it laying about, I'll send it your way. Time to talk about.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Time to talk about my one true love. Do you know what I watched when I was having when I thought I was having an allergic reaction this week? Should I tell you what I did while I was waiting for some antihistamine to kick in?
What?
I watched a documentary about Eva Peron.
Fun.
Yeah, it was really interesting actually because I realized I didn't know anything about her. I was like, I know she died young, and Patti LuPone thought she's being haunted by her.
Fair enough.
Um, so we are of course talking about the fact that it has been announced that Rachel Zegler will be Eva Peron in Jamie Lloyd's production of Evita at the London Palladium. This is massive for me. This is massive for me. There was the rumor. When was it? Last week? The weeks are blurring together.
Oh my god, I love Rachel Zegler.
Also, why are people annoyed about this? Girl can fucking sing. She can act. If you don't think so, go watch A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes or West Side Story. She has so much charisma in that movie that makes up the black hole that is Ansel Elgort.
She's an incredible actress. She's an incredible singer.
Yes.
I think she's gonna do very, very well as Evita.
Yes. Also, everyone's like, she's too young, she's too young. Do you think Jamie Lloyd's weird ass conceptual production cares?
there's a part of me that is fully convinced that this Evita might be set in a high school. Like with Jamie Lloyd, you never know. And that's not a bad thing. That
No, like uh, I, I'm sat here going, let him wild out. Because when he gets his hands on an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical about a woman and her relationship with the public eye,
he kind of eats.
it's his special niche. And thankfully, Andy has two musicals talking about the same thing.
And original is never really a word I use with him, but
No, he had an original for oh, no, Starlight Express.
yeah, okay.
Only Andrew Lloyd Webber could come up. All Cats. Only he could come up.
But here's my thing.
Mm.
At their very core, Cats and Starlight Express was the exact same story,
Yeah,
which is
okay,
a bunch of weird, like non-human things competing for something.
yeah,
And there's a massive set piece involved.
yeah. There is. What did I say about Vita? Oh yeah, tell me you don't want to hear Rachel Zegler sing a new Argentina. If like the concept of hearing that with my own two ears, because I did buy a ticket while it was still a rumor. My friend Toby was like, "Esme, you can't buy a ticket based on a rumor," and I went, "Watch me." Um, the concept of me hearing that with my own two ears is sending me.
Oh yeah. There's a part of it, like I don't have that much interest in Evita at all.
Yeah,
It's a good musical. I enjoy a lot of the songs, just not really my go-to in any sense.
it's not your pet Andy.
Yeah, it's part of me that is genuinely like, fuck, I could go for Rachel Zegler. You know
Um,
what? Maybe I'll hold off, and if you really like it,
yeah, we'll go
I'll
again.
go with you a second time.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be going. Evita or Stereophonic. They're going to be my two, which I just spend all my time at this
I
summer.
feel like something is gonna come out of like left field.
It can't be something normal. It can't be something where if you told me a year ago you'd have seen this X amount of times, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense.
Do you know what I think it might end up being that would be really funny?
What?
Hamilton. I can see us getting big into Hamilton this year.
I can see it too. It's been creeping up on me. How much has been
I had
creeping up on me?
like, fuck, I really want to listen to the cast albums.
Guys, my friend was like, should we watch the original Broadway? Should we watch the pro shot of Hamilton? And then yesterday, one of my normal friends was like to me, like, I don't know how Hamilton wrote all those letters with a pen and paper, and I was like, how the fuck do you know about that?
So he wrote the other 51.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know how he wrote all of them with just a pen and paper, and I was like, you're normal. How do you know that? But no, also Stereophonic because I want to go see Stereophonic so bad. And I've convinced my friend who doesn't like theatre to go with me because we both like 70s band dramas. It's very niche, but
Fair enough.
again, Nadia at the scene of the crime. Uh, but all the haters and losers who are annoyed at Rachel Zegler's casting, get a job, get a life, get a grip.
You know what? Better for us. Don't buy the tickets.
Don't buy your tickets. I will buy them all. I don't have the money for that. Jamie Lloyd hit me
Buying
up.
out the whole theatre so Rachel Zegler can give us our own concert.
That'd be so expensive. The Palladium's fucking massive.
Oh yeah.
I saw someone say, like, I'm surprised Andrew Lloyd Webber is willing to work with her because of her political beliefs. And I was like, what?
I don't think you know who Andrew Lloyd Webber is.
I don't think you might understand who Andrew Lloyd Webber is. Two, I don't. He's not MAGA. He doesn't
He's like
Trump.
he's old, so he's a little bit right wing, but he's not mad.
Old, so he's a little bit right wing, but he also had a weird political renaissance about 5 years ago. We spent too much time on this podcast talking about the politics of Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yep.
It's been a big day for releases in music. We had The Giver by Chapel Roan, banger tune. We had Maybe Happy Ending, which I listened to and cried. Didn't realize that was going to happen to me. The only way I can explain it is Peter, the hologram's here, and I just start crying. Like, what? How else can I explain what came over me? It was similar to what came over me at Hadestown.
Hmm.
It's like I had to just sit there and cry out. I'm so mentally sane at the moment, if you couldn't tell. And then Why Am I So Single is also out, but I've not listened to Why Am I So Single yet because the holograms here. Like I gotta go listen to Maybe Happy Ending. Also, I've heard a lot more of the Why Am I So Single score.
Yeah.
When I was booking it, they asked me if I wanted to add on like any sweet packages or whatever, and I was like, no, I'm buying the cheapest ticket humanly available to Evita.
I just want to say though, front row only 75.
I think
I'm
another
feeling
round
I'm getting ideas for your birthday present. Uh,
is my 21st.
21st front row at Vita.
We could literally spend my 21st birthday at Evita.
We could.
Um,
I'll jot that one down. But
I've already worked
the
out one
thing
day
is,
now.
I don't think we talked about this on the podcast. Like 2 years ago,
Yes,
I got Esme the best birthday
perfect,
present ever. And
perfect.
so, like, there's no reason for me to try anymore.
No,
Like, I'm
we've
never
had
gonna,
this
like,
conversation.
upstage myself.
No, there's like I don't think you can ever upstage that.
Can I tell them what
I
the birthday present was? Because I'm really
It
proud of it.
is a Reputation Stadium Tour t-shirt from 2018. This Reputation Stadium Tour was. It's great. I get compliments
Where
on it
did I
all
get
the
it
time.
from?
Got it from a vintage shop in Japan. I get compliments on it all the time. I've worked out how I'm gonna do like the equivalent of that gift for now.
Oh,
I don't know.
this year?
Yeah,
Have you told me about this?
I've told you about this. We were walking past Mia, and you were like, "I'm never trying to go on your birthday again." And I went, "Fair." I went, I'm gonna get you a life-size cutout of
Oh,
Andrew Lloyd
yes, my
Webber,
life-size cutout of Andrew Lloyd Webber.
and then I'm done. Yeah.
The thing is, if I get you a Vita tickets for front row for your birthday this year, that's a close second. And so far, your close
Hey,
second is getting me the Phantom cassette.
Phantom Cassette, and also Bonnie and Clyde with Jeremy Jordan.
Yeah, fair enough. But Bonnie and Clyde wasn't front row, was it?
No, but Bonnie and Clyde was a fucking
Bonnie and Clyde was incredible.
one, incredible, two, really hard to get tickets for.
Oh, yeah. Anyways,
Moving on from birthday presents. Jerry joined Aunt Juliet. Happy for him. Oh God, we have to be serious now. We haven't talked about this on the podcast because we don't know how this was gonna play out,
mm,
if I'm being honest. And when I think about theatre news, I've not been thinking about this,
yeah.
if it makes
It's
sense.
something that we've been at least vaguely aware of.
I've been following it from a distance. I also cannot follow anything like this too closely, or else I will like you know?
Mm,
I have to get to the third and be functional. Um, we are talking about Hamilton cancelling at the Kennedy Center due to the Trump takeover. I saw some people being like, why is Hamilton the one to cancel first? And I have a couple of opinions. One, Hamilton doesn't really need to do anything financially, it doesn't have to do.
yeah.
Two, it's Hamilton, the musical, you idiot. I mean, all art is political. Hamilton
Hamilton is fucking political.
is political and was workshopped in Obama's White House.
Like, Hamilton has already had quite a history with Trump.
Yes, yes. Are we forgetting the fact that Mike Pence came to a performance, and then when the castmates were like, "Hey, are you going to take away our rights in this administration?"
I think
Trump
that's the
then
thing
got on
is,
Twitter and started ranting about them. And Trump loves to keep a vendetta.
yeah. I don't think Hamilton has ever done something this, like, obvious.
Yes.
Because the Mike Pence thing was about Mike Pence.
Yes.
And the most
Also,
they did with the actual show was the immigrants we get the job done, which is just a line in the show anyways.
yeah, and, like I mean, they did the at the Tonys. They removed the guns from Yorktown.
Yeah. They've done some things, but they aren't like overtly, this is against this very specific thing.
They haven't ever really drawn a hard line like this.
Yeah, this is very specific. We will not be performing at the Kennedy Center because
Yeah.
of Trump's choices with it.
I mean, oh, I want to laugh at the Laura Osris's jokes so bad, but they're not. They're not funny. Um. Also, I think it was a statement from Jeffrey Seller, who's a prolific producer. He produced Rent. He produced In the Heights. He produced Avenue Q. This man knows what he's doing. He has taken these shows, which should not really have these big commercial lives, and turned them into millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars enterprises. I think Hamilton's gross close to $1 billion.
Yeah,
He said also financially, we don't know what's going to happen. At any moment, Trump could cancel us, and that's not fair on our workers
yeah,
who are employed. We're gonna go back to being jokey now, but we just had to talk
perfect.
about that because
That was just an important point to make.
it was the first time it really reared its head like this.
Yeah,
And I fear we're gonna see more instances like this in the future.
yeah.
Um, oh, we skipped one.
Is it Two Strangers?
Two strangers at ART.
I was gonna bring it up.
There's been speculation of it making its way stateside for a while now.
Mm,
I am not surprised, ART. I thought regionally or off Broadway would be the best place for it.
yeah, ART makes sense. I think
ART,
it'll do quite well.
I wouldn't be surprised if it then transferred off Broadway. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, I said Mitsubi's never making it to Broadway. It's too weird, it's too British. Off Broadway, perfect home for it, and it seems to be doing just fine. So, I could be wrong. Two Strangers, rock on love.
I'm very sad we never got to see Two Strangers.
I'm not personally.
I think of those things where just kind of objectively feels like something I should have seen.
In an ideal world, I'd see absolutely everything. But
Yeah,
I don't live in. I'm not in London at the moment, or when it was on. And two, I'm not made of money.
yeah,
I think it's more the monetary thing which inhabits me from seeing everything.
yeah.
Um. Anywho, Boop, Buena Vista Social Club, and Smash start previews.
I'm a big fan of Boop.
Boop, fucking, I'm sat for Boop.
I'm
Jas
I cannot wait to see what Boop does.
Jasmine Amy Rogers. I've been hearing for like months that people think she's a contender for the Best Musical Tony Award. And I'd kind of forgotten about it, and then Boop started previews, and I was like, oh crap, she's getting a Tony nom, isn't she?
Yeah.
And I'll be sat there on nomination day go girly pop. You know? Smash? I heard someone tweet, I feel like I was Paul Revere last night telling people that the Smash musical wasn't good. Can someone get me to New York? I really need to go see Smash.
There are a couple shows now that we kind of need to be in New York for.
Oh Mary, Smash.
I know, because Titus Burgess is about to start in O'Mary tomorrow when this episode comes out. Um, Smash is there, Boop is there.
We should go see Mincemeat. It'll be cheaper to go see Mincemeat.
We should go see Mincemeat on Broadway.
I want to see Cabaret so bad.
On Broadway.
I just want to see Orville Peck and even Obazada. I think Orville Peck is cool as shit.
Oh, Death Becomes Her. Obviously.
Sorry, I just sprung a wig out of my chair because I realised I need to go see Death Becomes Her like so
You need to go see
badly.
Death Becomes Her.
You know the annoying thing is that over the summer it looks like I'm going to be like a couple of hours away from New York.
We do a day trip.
What? Ditch my family in a lakeside town
Yes.
and go, right guys,
Yes.
I'm off. I'm off.
You're an adult.
Maybe happy ending.
Maybe happy ending.
Guys, 2020, 2025. You're Wrong About Musicals live from New York. It's just me and Nell sat in a hotel going, Broadway's really good.
Oh, the vlogs we will vlog.
The vlogs we would do. Museum of Broadway, you staring at the
Museum of
Phantom chandelier.
Broadway. Ah,
We could go to Cornelia Street. I could go back to my favorite bookshop.
oh, we might have to time it so it's when Immersive Phantom opens.
Well, that's why we've got to go for Immersive Phantom.
Got to go for Immersive Phantom.
And then we have to go to Mincemeat. Do you say where we have to go?
Where?
Schmackeries.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I feel like we have to go. We'd be so annoying if we went to New York.
Oh no, absolutely.
Oh, God.
That's kind of why we have to do it.
It's kind of like, yeah, we do have to go. And I feel like after this year, New York, America would be horrific to go to.
Yeah. There's a part of me that's even like, maybe let's wait 4 years.
I think New York will
Let's
always...
save up.
No, I think New York will always be fine. Speaking of Hamilton, to tell you where I'd feel we'd have to go to pay our respects.
Where?
Hamilton's
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. I could go see my favorite building. You know, massive itinerary. No tourist
Yeah.
attractions.
No tourist attractions.
Just
Just us
niche,
being annoying.
just niche shit that only me and you find funny.
Yeah.
Anyway. Buena Vista Social Club also looks good.
Mm.
I've not heard that much about it, but I'm hoping it does well. Next up, Amber Artolino as Celine Dion. I don't have any comments on this. I love Titanic. Queen of Versailles to play at the St. James. This was Queen of Versailles is one of those things that I keep forgetting is bouncing around.
Yeah.
And
Like every time I hear about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that exists.
I'm like, oh yeah, that exists, and I should be really excited for it because it's a Stephen Schwartz score with Christian Chenoweth.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they're using in their marketing. Leah Michelle, woman, big fan of books. To tour, she's capitalizing on her Rachel Berry fame.
Yeah.
And I got excited because it seemed like the chess revival might actually be happening. But as we know, there will never be a chess revival.
Unfortunately.
I really want to go see it though because it's about the Cold War.
Yeah. I think
I love the Cold War. Jesus fucking Christ! Should I tell you what's happened? What's just happened?
What?
Guess who's now onto their second extension?
What?
Guess which Broadway show has just extended for a second time?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But like, come on.
I've already clocked it and been like, this is basically just their marketing strategy. It's an open-ended run. Oh, and then they're saying that they want to go see it, and someone's got a bootleg of it already. I've not seen an Operation Mincemeat bootleg.
I've never seen an Operation
I've
Mincemeat
actually
bootleg.
never
This
seen an
isn't
Operation
even a
Mincemeat
bit.
bootleg.
We have
No.
talked about this.
We've looked for.
I'm gonna look again. I feel like maybe I could really enjoy the show if it's in a really low quality bootleg.
Oh, they're seeing if they can find one. No, girlie, you're not going to be able to find one.
Operation Mincemeat musical. Here's my thing. You guys are trying too hard to find bootlegs. You genuinely just need to search up the name, and if it doesn't come up, there isn't a bootleg.
Guys, I finally saw a clip of a bootleg of ART Gatsby this week.
Was it the one of his death?
Yes.
Because I also saw the same.
I was just
shocking that this is how we're getting it.
Yeah, no, I was just like, I just wanted to see the set because I've actually never seen the set. Also, it's clear like ART Gatsby isn't coming back anytime soon. Did someone just start leaking shit?
Yeah, can we just get it?
You guys are all sat around talking about how the second coming of Christ. Well, I would like to enjoy the second coming of Christ. Oh, This is big. Rocky Horror to return to Broadway next year, I believe.
Big news.
Because there was a sweaty Oracle rumor, and I don't know if I believe this. Did you? I'm guessing you heard the rumor of who's rumored to be in it.
I think so.
Miss Club will be buying every single seat. I don't know if I believe that, but it's being directed by the person who directed Oh Mary. And that just feels like a fork in draw kind of situation, you know?
Yeah.
Like, of course, of course. Fiddler on the Roof announces casting with 3 people, I believe all nominated for Olivier's, transferring from the open air run. I will go see Fiddler on the Roof at the Barbican. I have just that might become my show.
Yeah.
Especially since like as a child I really hated Fiddler on the Roof.
Mm.
It was because it used to get put on every single around Christmas time, every single year, and I would get bored because it's like 3 hours long, and I was a small child. It's gonna be Fiddler, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're gonna get really into Fiddler.
Oh, shit, man. I gotta be something cool like a Vita. Um, Moulin Rouge UK and international casting announcement. I'm not paying attention. I don't care.
Don't care.
Starlight Express cast change. It's not happening until like May, but obviously they have to go through skate school.
Yeah.
They
So they
have to
announce
do
it quite early.
well, so they're doing like a large cast changeover, and I was like, "Hi, I wonder why more people aren't staying on." And I was like, "Probably because it's physically demanding.
It is a lot.
It is hard to do eight
It's
times."
also, there's something to be said about it being so successful
Hmm.
that it makes sense that they have better opportunities, especially for shows that aren't as
Physical.
hard to do.
Last but not least, this came up on my For You page as I was putting these notes together. Nick Jonas continues to butcher the last 5 years. Nick Jonas, you'll never be my good friend Joseph Jonas. I'm not explaining that joke. Anyway, um, La La Land is a movie with
That
direct.
one's new. That's new.
Oh, that's a new one. Directed by Damien Chazelle, written by Damien Chazelle, and music by Justin Horwitz and our dear, dear good pals Pasek and Paul.
Classic and Paul.
Here on 2016, let's keep that front of brains, everybody. 2016, Dear Evan Hansen has not been unleashed upon us yet. Actually, it might
But
have
it's
been.
getting there.
No, it's
I
out
feel
of
like it
town.
might have done like preview. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in DC or off Broadway.
God, I cannot believe I'm about to Google Dear Evan Hansen. Good Lord.
Chazelle came up with the idea, so it's like kind of his brainchild for La La Land when he was a student at Harvard, long before he wrote Whiplash, which is his movie which put him on the map. He and classmate Justin Hurwitz um, explored the concept for in their senior thesis, a low-budget musical about a Boston jazz musician named titled Guy and Madeline on a park bench. After graduating, both moved to Los Angeles in 2010 and continued writing their modern version of an old-fashioned musical, only reset in the action of LA. There is something poetic about the city that was built by people with these unrealistic dreams. They put it all on the line for that. Such unrealistic dreams would include finding funding for a film in this exact genre. I was told the concept and the material for La La Land seemed brazenly uncommercial, Chazelle said. The movie was not based on anything. No one was familiar with the songs and built to build off of a pre-existing fan base, and it was a jazz musical. He managed to find producers, a friend introduced him to Fred Berger and Jordan Horowitz, 2 young New York transplants in Hollywood. The script landed on at Focus as a much lower budget film, somewhere in the $1 million range. That's crazy amounts. Like
Yeah.
for a movie.
Yeah.
I know everything
That's
costs
tiny.
I know everything costs like 20 million nowadays, but still that's nothing. Um still there are a lot of people trying to make it there are a lot of people saying we were trying to make a really expensive museum piece, Horitz said. Chazelle was told to change the lead to from a pianist to a rock musician. The change the completed opening number and drop the story's bittersweet ending. Says Berger, every one of the contours that felt special and distinctive were the things that we were urged to change. And then eventually the script went into turnaround and heartbroken Chazelle moved on to his next project, Whiplash, but never gave up on getting La La Land to the screen, even when the director was being celebrated at the 2014 Sundance Film Festival where Whiplash opened to raves. He was pitching his musical to distributors. And basically Whiplash comes on to become a massive hit. Makes and gets like a ton of award nominations. After Sundance, Lionsgate and Black Label Media signed on, along with producer Mark Platt.
Oh, Mark Platt.
Gang's all back together, guys. We've got Mark Platt. We've got not Ben Platt. We've got Passing and
Can you
Paul.
imagine if instead of like Ryan Gosling, it was Ben Platt?
Meow.
We could have had it all.
Guys, 2016 could have been so good. And he's just wearing his hoodie. He's wearing one of those sweaty Oracle hoodies that says, "Hi, my name is Ben Platt. My dad's Mark
Yeah.
Platt, producer of Wicked." Could have had it all. Um,
Yeah, my sister just texted me about Evita.
seeing what?
Literally just a screenshot of the announcement and then going mad.
Yes, I know, and I've already gone through all the stages. Giselle first offered the female lead to Emma Watson, but the former Harry Potter star uh instead signed to top line Disney's live action Beauty and the Beast. That was a shit movie. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
saw it in cinemas. It was far
Don't
too
get
long
me started on it. We have
and
a
dark.
Beauty and the Beast episode and I'm angry in it.
Yeah, you are. Um, for the male lead, he reached out to his Whiplash star Miles Teller, but negotiations over Teller's pay had the actors reportedly blanked at the 4 million being offered dragged on. Teller said that he had been found out he had been dropped from the project when an agent called saying Damien told them that it was a no, told them that he thinks it's no longer creatively right for the project, so he's moving on without you. Things began to unjumble when he met with Emma Stone, who was starring in Broadway's Cabaret. I forget Cabaret has just always been on Broadway.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Art Oliver,
Yeah. It's just constantly on and off.
where it's like every 5 to 10 years you gotta do a production of it. And Gosling, who was about to shoot Adam McKay's The Big Short. He had a very infectious attitude towards the film, says Gosling, and their first meeting at the bar near the Hollywood Hills home. He talked a lot about wanting to make movies for a big screen and wanting to experience it with an audience. So, Hurwitz, who is like instrumental to the film, he was just doing the instrumentals. He wasn't doing the words.
Yeah.
He just did the gorgeous, gorgeous piano.
Oh,
Best part of the movie.
honestly.
And I was momentarily when I was watching it for the first time last 2 weeks ago, last week, I was annoyed because I was like, I can't believe Pascal Paul wrote this good piece of music.
Wrong.
Wrong, it was another guy. Would say about getting Pascal and Paul involved. We had a list of the go-to lyricists who were songwriters. A lot of Broadway people, some pop people as well. And we had either a conference call or meetings with many of them wanting to talk to us. We had a call with Benj and Justin. I forget that his name's actually Benj.
It's crazy.
Cracks me up every time. And we really liked them, but we were still on the hunt. Part of that process of finding a lyricist People were writing a really simple lyric to one of my piano demos. Passing the pool did more than offer a sample. They flew to Los Angeles. They had dinner with me and Damien, and the next morning we had scheduled if they could try and come over to my apartment and sit around and show us the lyrics they had written. So they came over in the morning and they sang their lyric, which was City of Stars, Are They Shining Just For Me? Almost exactly as it is in the movie. That is a good lyric. I'll give
Yeah.
them that. We changed a few words in the process as we decided where to put the song in the movie and who would sing it, but the lyrics that came in to win the job was City of Stars. Um, Musicals are interdisciplinary movies, says Sujal. Chazelle, that's how you say it. We require lots of different crafts and performers to work closely together. One of the reasons Hollywood was able to turn out these high-level musicals was because of the studio system. We kind of hoped to create our own much smaller version of that. To help his cast and crew get their creative juices flowing, Chazelle hosted screenings on the sound stages every Friday of films that inspired La La Land. The Umbrellas of Chiboulag? I don't know that movie.
Cherbourg.
Cherbourg. Singing in the Rain. Top Hat.
Oh,
Now just
moving quickly on.
yes. Like the Zack and Cody episode, as she once
Like
explained.
the Zack and Cody episode.
Somewhat improbably, Boogie Nights, the Paul Thomas Anderson movie about the 1970s porn industry. Hurwitz continued reworking songs, arranging an upbeat group number, Another Day of Sun, to the flirtatious duet of A Lovely Night and the sweeping ballads of The Fools Who Dream. As the story changed when Gosling and Stone signed on, Chazelle aged up his main characters who were originally younger newbies arriving in Los Angeles. It was a painstaking process. It took her 31 attempts to get the film's main melody, a melancholic song called City of Stars, just right. Or at least right enough for Chazelle. He knew it when he had it, the composer said of the director. That's always been our process. Damien's very demanding, but when he finally says yes, I'm the first one to recognize that it's great and we didn't settle on anything up until that point. Shooting began in August 2015. It was a complicated musical number with dozens of performers hopping out of their cars onto a traffic-signaled freeway. The scene was originally planned to be on a ground-level highway, but then Chazelle fell in love with the 105 to 110 interchange, which had arcs 100 feet in the air. I thought somebody was going to fall off and get killed, says production manager David Wasco. After rehearsals in warehouses, Chazelle and his team got the permit to shoot throughout a 48-hour period, which closed the interchange. Both days turned out to be scorchers and temperature rose above 100 degrees.
Jesus Christ.
The rest of the 40-day shoot took place in more than 60 other LA locations, from the downtown trolley to houses in the Hollywood Hills, with many scenes shot in one take. It is important that you don't feel too realistic. Then they suddenly break into musical numbers, says director of photography Lewis Stagden. The entire film should feel like something magical could happen at any time. Chazelle spent nearly a year on the editing room with Tom Cross, focused on mainly getting the tone right, a concern that Stone says was the focus of everyone working on the film. How do we do a conversation in a jazz club, then float up into space and still feel like we're portraying these people with that feels consistent and coherent? The fear followed me during the first 2 weeks of shooting. Then I realized I just had to go for it and trust the process. Trust that was tested often, especially after bad screenings in early 2016. We would see that a part of the movie wasn't working at all. You get hurt for a second, but then you have to regroup and figure it out. The challenge was finding the right balance in the film's fantastical romantic musical numbers. It is a story about a young couple trying to achieve their dreams in Los Angeles. It took a while to find the movie. Sometimes we weren't positive we'd find it at all. Chazelle was positive he had a flop on his hands. Test screenings for La La Land had not gone well, as previously stated. Whatever reason, audiences weren't connecting to it. So he sat there at the Venice Film Festival and kept his eyes sharp throughout the solid half hour. I kept feeling like, oh my god, this is tanking. I just dazed and a terrified mess. But La La Land got a rousing, standing ovation, says. And Emma Stone, who stars with Ryan Gosling as the love-struck Angelinos, won the festival's Best Actress award. A few days later, the movie, sorry, earned critical acclaim at the Toulouse Film Festival, and then at the end of the week, it took top prize at the Toronto Film Festival. Kudos hasn't stopped then since. Reviews. I did put a synopsis in, didn't I? Yes. Um, The Guardian would give it 5 stars and say, to be honest, this is where an audience might find tolerance for this picture's unironic bounce tested, coming as it does from the top of the show, where little goes. It takes a little while to get acclimated, but in the first 5 minutes, the show tune film of the musical score might make you feel like you're watching a Broadway adaptation. But very soon, I got utterly absorbed into the movie's simple storytelling virtue and terrific lead performances by Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, who were both excellent, particularly Stone, who has ever been better. Her huge doe eyes radiating wit and intelligence when they're not filling with tears. Gosling, for his part, is perfectly nice line in his sardonic dismissal to conceal how hurt he is or how in love he is. Chazelle creates musical numbers for them as a pair, and Gosling and Stone carry these off with delicacy and charm, despite the fact that they're not really singers. Those directors might have considered possibly casting, say, Anna Kendrick for the role of Mia, but who undoubtedly would have given the musical aspect some real punch. But Stone fits the part perfectly. Something in the hesitancy or even the ability of her singing voice is just right. Both of the actors are accomplished dancers within their shrewdly limited range. La La Land is a happy, sweet-natured movie and something to give you a vitamin D boost of sunshine. Now, the New York Times raised an actually interesting point in their first paragraph I'm going to read.
Yeah.
Let's remember it's 2016.
Yeah.
From the first song, the first bouquet of comparisons of the movie by Justin Hurst and lyrics by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul is called Another Day of Sun, and the movie is a way of auditioning the audience, testing out our tolerance for a bold blend of nostalgia and novelty. Can a generation raised on Glee and the High School Musical franchise, bestowed by a newfangled range of musicals like The Book of Mormon and Hamilton, find room in its hearts for a movie that unabashedly invokes the rich girls of Rochefort and American in Paris? I thought that was really interesting, and I kind of want to talk about it when we get to our thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why I was like, it's 2016 when this is premiering, guys.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear. Why not? Chazelle, whose previous features were full of music and brash, youthful energy, is a natural showman and canny craftsman, where he wears his influence on his sleeve, by he wears them lightly. For it echoes and allusions La La Land is too lively, too earnest, and more pastiche. It certainly doesn't look back at past masters like Vincent Minnelli or Nicholas Ray, or Stanley Donen and James Gurney as tap on the mojo of modernity of its own cynicism by some jester. Seb and Mia are throwbacks. If not quite like Ginger and Fred, then surely Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney, or Sid Chesney and Gene Kelly. But they are also citizens of the present. They are better at acting than the other stuff, able to express wordless emotion in nonsensical musical scenes with candor and conviction. But the slightly stiff-limbed, wobbly-voiced when the moment arrives for the hoof and chipping. For the hoofing and chirping. That's an interesting way to explain song and dance, guys.
Sure. Why not?
New York Times, always doing something new. For this, they're still pretty much the opposite of those earlier performers who were vaudevillian troopers before they were thespians. The real tension in La La Land is between ambition and love, and perhaps the most up-to-date thing about it is the way it incorporates that ancient conflict. A cynical but not inaccurate way to describe it it as a careerist movie about careerism. But that would be a slight on Mr. Giselle's real uncomfortable insight about the drive for professional success that for young people that is both present that at this present time is more realistic and more romantic than the pursuit of boy meets girl and they live happily ever after. Love is consignment, art is commitment. Moviegoers might not prefer as moviegoers, we might prefer not to choose, but this is the case. You don't really have to. La La Land succeeds in both a fizzy fantasy and a hard headed tale, a romantic comedy and a showbiz melodrama, a work of sublime, farcical, and touching authenticity. The farcical lies in the gorgeous colours and the suave camera movements and the elegant widescreen comparisons. In the songs and choreography, too, of course. It has to be said that, with one or two exceptions, these were more competent than dazzling. You're more likely to remember what you saw than what you heard. The naturalist comes from the stars, and the filmmaker's dismaying infatuation with the Palace apostrophized song City of Stars, having taken his place in a long tradition of bestowed Easterners. Mr. Chazelle, from New Jersey by way of Harvard, can't stop looking at the palm trees' silhouettes skied in the evening. 4 chapters track the changing seasons as a sly joke about the weather, which are almost perfect. The magic hour, that purple-orange twilight cherished by generations of Chrysangelas, seems to last on end. The Griffin Observatory might as well be heaven itself. He memorably pushed Whiplash into a complex and thrilling musical climax. He outdoes himself during the last 20 minutes of La La Land and outdoes every director of his generation, warping intense and delicate emotions in sheer intoxicating cinematic bliss. The final sequence, one last audition, followed by a swirl of rapturous, heart-tugging music and ballet, effectively cashes the check the rest of the movie has been written. On first viewing, the first 90 minutes or so, you are delightfully shadowed by skepticism. Where's this going? Can this guy pull it off? Are these kids going to make it? Why should we care? By the end, those questions vanish under a spell of enchantment. It is synopsis time, and it is a short one for you this week.
Oh, fun. When Sebastian, a pianist, and Mia, an actress, follow their passion and achieve success in their respective fields, they find themselves torn between their love for each other and their careers.
So I watched La La Land quite famously for the first time last week.
Yeah. I watched it in probably about 2016, 2017.
My family watched it earlier. I just got bored.
That's fair enough. You know, from me, completely fair enough. I feel like to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
It's gonna be compared to other musicals.
Oh yeah.
Like obviously 2016, we know what it's gonna be compared to. I want to put out there though, I feel like actually plot-wise, it's a lot more similar to like the last 5 years than anything else.
Should I tell you what I had bouncing around in my head as I was watching this? Dogfight.
Yeah.
The joke I kind of came up with in my head before I like looked into it for 5 seconds and realized that they didn't write the piano bit in City of Stars was and this was 2 weeks ago, by the way, so I know the joke's
been holding on to it.
I know the joke's gonna sound outdated by the time this comes out, but this was 3 weeks ago by this point this comes out.
Okay.
They wanted to Patrick and Paul wanted to reheat the dogfight nachos.
Yeah.
That was the joke that was going around in my head as I was watching this.
Dude, I'm sorry, my flatmate is fucking singing his little heart out right now.
What's he singing?
Wish I could tell you. I don't know. So he's really going for it. It sounds emotional.
Let's leave him to it then.
But I think with La La Land, the idea for me is it's very much about this fight between love and your career.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I think comes through the most otherwise in last 5 years. The thing with La La Land is it just does it all with like just on the other side of whimsy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at no point am I sitting there being like, oh my God, is she going to choose love or her career? Career's going so well for her. I mean, the love. Sebastian's great for her as well. Like, you're not thinking that. You're just like, this is a fucking beautiful film. This is great.
It's stunning. It
Yeah.
is beautiful. They don't make them like this anymore, boys. They don't. They don't. And I think it says something about La La Land that the way that we all think about it is just how beautiful it was,
Yeah.
rather than I I don't know. I don't know if it's just because everyone overhypes it so much. But when I got to the end, I was like, I'm not sad. It was kind of obvious that they were always not going to work out.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I feel like that's the point of it, is that if you're watching it without being swept away by how beautiful it looks and sounds,
Yeah.
they're very obviously not going to work out. There are way
No.
too many things against them. It's the fact that you are so swept up by the whole ordeal that the fact that it doesn't work out is a shock. Like that's kind to me at least, that's the point. Like concept of La La Land,
Yes.
being
Yeah.
in La La Land.
You're living in La La Land. What's the Demi
Yeah,
Lovato song goes?
yeah.
In the La La Land
Like
machine.
it's just being a bit delusional that
Yes.
everything you're pretending everything is so great. And that's
Yes.
what that whole like sequence at the end, so fucking beautiful. Oh my God. Like it has been like genuinely about 6 years probably since I've watched this film properly. I can picture that ending sequence.
No, it's very memorable, and I think it's
Yeah.
rad now with films. I've also been trying to like I'm not very good at watching films. I've been really trying in the past couple of months to like sit my ass down and watch films
I'm just
because
gonna tell you right now, you're gonna get no sympathy from me on this.
no, now
Like,
now does not watch films.
I don't watch films.
She's seen La La Land, but
I've seen La La Land.
I realized that when I was thinking about La La Land in the past 2 weeks, I am self-admittedly a bit of a snob when it comes to musical theatre, if you couldn't tell,
Hmm.
and a bit of a snob when it comes to music.
Hmm.
TV and film, shitter the better.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so fucking excited that The Summer I Turned Pretty is coming back. Cheering. I saw a Love You Should Come Over edit
Oh
to
my God.
Conrad, and I was going, yes!
Honestly, a good edit like that could get me to watch it.
But no, I'm not that clued into what also makes a good film.
Yeah.
I can tell you when something's funny, and I can tell you when something's effective, and I can tell you when I liked something. I can't tell you like what made it good often.
Yeah.
With La La Land, I enjoyed it. I had a good time, and I was like, this is very fun and whimsy. I
It's
think,
genuinely the thing I keep coming back to is just how like beautiful it is.
yeah,
Like I don't think you can't not enjoy watching it.
yeah.
I don't think if I have any other
And
like genuine thoughts.
as I'm sat here now, like thinking about it, the one scene
Mm,
I keep returning to, which I think really sums it up, more than the one that they're like running around the Griffin Conservatory and like floating above air. You're taking me, you're going a bit too fantasy now.
yeah.
I kind of like the realism of it almost. Like it's,
Yeah.
but also at the same time, it is quite realistic in moments. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, it's the City of Stars tap sequence.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is stunning. And I
Yeah.
really liked what that review highlighted of they're able to have this conversation because they're such good actors through
Yeah.
their like through their faces, which I think is
Yeah.
missing like it's a level of subtlety which I feel like you can only achieve in film compared to theatre,
Oh, yeah.
but often in movie musicals, because I do watch quite a few movie musicals, you can't do that level of subtlety.
Yeah.
Like I rewatched West Side Story. I'm gonna rewatch it soon again, actually. Um, that film is not subtle, and I think there are parts where it could probably use some subtlety. Um, but yeah, you know what I mean.
I think as well, we should probably talk about the Hamilton of it all.
Yes, let's talk about the cultural moment because that's something we're very equipped to talk about.
The success of La La Land was entirely related to the success of Hamilton.
I think we were primed for La La Land.
Yeah. It might not seem like it because they are fundamentally two very, very, very different things.
Mm.
But the idea of a like, the world was ready for musicals at this point.
The world, the children yearned for show tunes.
Oh yeah. And I think to do one that's very feel good, but also shockingly deep in what it's
Yes,
saying was the
yes.
like it was the perfect moment. I think if La La Land came out a year earlier or a year later, it would have flopped.
Uh-huh.
Even if it was the exact same film,
I think
it would have flopped.
I think La La Land doesn't come out when La La Land does. Musical theatre as a genre. And I sound hyperbole, but I can back this up. La La Land
Mm,
doesn't come out at the exact moment La La Land comes out, and I know it's been in production for ages and ages and ages, but it's almost like it the culture meeting the moment.
yeah.
La La Land where it is. Um, Dear
Like
Evan
I could
Hansen doesn't become Dear Evan Hansen without La La Land.
yeah. I could also certainly see like
Greatest Showman doesn't become Greatest Showman without La La Land.
yeah. I could also definitely see La La Land if it had come out like 2010 when they were first talking about it. I can see it being rediscovered like
Mhm.
2016, 2017 and becoming a big thing.
I can see it becoming like a cult hit. I can't see it
Yeah.
becoming worldwide
Yeah.
Oscars, Grammys, graduations, funerals, weddings.
And I also just think what was happening in 2015 of like what the like vibe was is also why La La Land was made the way it was.
Liberalism is in.
Liberalism is in. We're very you know, Tumblr is up.
Everything is visual. Everything is visual.
Everything is visual.
Instagram's taking over. Tumblr's still kicking. And
1989 is still, up there at the top of the charts.
1989 is on its world domination. Matty Healy's just come out of his cage as being a rat. Lana Del Rey has changed pop culture forever by doing the visual thing and being a very visual artist.
I think I have a CD from like 2015 up above my shelf right now.
Wait, which one?
I bought back a ton of Now albums.
Oh,
I
yeah,
could
yeah.
try and look.
It's like,
Um, but like everything is very poppy, is very
it's very
beat.
visual. Like, the filter is in.
Gay marriage has just been legalized in the US. It seems like there is nothing that could happen within, say, the next like year or so
No, 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 no.
that could send us on a downward spiral.
That we're still experiencing today. This very
2015 would have also been, I mean, it's One Direction.
One Direction's about
I
One Direction.
I don't know if I'm right in this. Is 2015 the year where the One Direction did the video with David Cameron for Comic Relief?
That was
Or is
earlier.
that slightly earlier?
That's like 2013. I have a really good pop culture knowledge for this time period.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, 2 years
no, One
before,
Direction.
there's still that kind of vibe.
I mean, I'm saying from the birth of really Instagram. Instagram really took off around 2011.
Yeah.
We're
But you're
four.
getting
We're 4 years
those
in.
kind of curated aesthetic
Yeah.
accounts.
Oh, aesthetic is one of the
Yeah.
most used words of the year, probably in
There's just one
2050,
other thing I want to look up
2060.
that I
What is
think would make my point. Yeah, okay. Um, BTS.
Yes.
They become active in 2013. That's what I was looking up. So they
Okay.
are pretty fucking big by 2015. You know, they're on the up and up for sure. But I think it's just all of those things together create this kind of perfect atmosphere
Mhm.
for this very like upbeat, fun, engaging, but also kind of think piecey movie to come out and just be incredible.
I also think like we cannot I hate to say it, I hate to give it credit. What ended 2015?
What did end 2015?
What aired its final episode, said its final words into the ether?
Fuck off.
Glee. Because Glee famously finished filming 2 months before Hamilton premiered.
That's incredible. I guess also the thing is we're talking about 2015 because that's when it was being filmed.
Yeah, I think also like this could go for 2016 in the reception of it because um people thought the political things and the downward trajectory that the world is about to go on was a joke. We were all living in a state
Yeah.
of very ignorant of
Like I
ignorance.
was actually thinking about this. Our big thing with Trump was when he was saying a small loan of $1 million. And we were like, oh my God, this guy is so stupid.
This
There's no
guy
way he's gonna win.
is such a joke. No one's gonna vote for him.
No
Hillary,
one's gonna vote for him.
go boss! Hillary forever! Lena Dunham's gonna save us all!
I think that's you had I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids. I miss it. I hate to say it, I fucking miss 2015 and 16.
Bring it back.
I know I was like 12 and 13, so I was also going through a horrid time. But
I don't want to be a teenage girl ever again. But
but if I could go back as a 21-year-old to like
oh,
2015, oh my
oh,
gosh.
best day of my life.
Oh my God. The life I would live. Send me back there for 24 hours.
The flower crowns I would wear.
Oh, dude, my galaxy leggings.
My skater skirt.
The kind of like sweet summer child aesthetic.
I'm going to Topshop on Oxford
Oh,
Street, and no one is stopping me.
dude, I'm going into Hollister at their peak.
Going into
Many
one
would say Hollister's peak was like early 2000s.
I had a Hollister jumper in
Wrong.
the early 2000s. It was a prized possession of mine.
Yeah. Anyways, all of that is to say,
The culture was ready for a La La Land.
yeah. And I think in a weird way that actually lends itself very, very, very well to La La Land because I think our review pointed it out. The whole movie is kind of nostalgic, just
Yes,
in of itself. So when you're watching it back now, as we
you're
just
like
watched it for the first time, but you're like, oh my God,
no. I
this
was
was the
like
life.
things were better then.
And like I watched it in probably about 2016, and genuinely, I watched it with a friend who I don't talk to anymore.
That's how I know Nels watched this.
There is someone out there who can verify I have watched La La Land.
And
Promise I'm not lying.
she's told me that they've watched La La Land, so I trust her.
Yes. Um,
On everything else, I trust Nell over them. But this one
but
thing.
um, but yeah, like even when I was watching it at like what, 13, 14 probably.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't watch it the year it came out because that would have been no, maybe I did because we would have been year 7, maybe year 8.
Actually, don't take me. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, didn't you know it's been 10 years since we started high school this year? Just throw that out there.
My uni hosted a school trip yesterday, and I have never been more scared in my life. I was walking to the library, and there was just this like group of school children, and they were like,
Oh,
I think I'm gonna have to cut this, but they weren't from inner city. They weren't like
mm.
they were disadvantaged schools. And I was like, oh my God, this is what we were like.
That looks like us.
Like I paused my headphones and I just listened to their conversation. I was like, wow, things really haven't changed in 10 years.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I probably watched it like I want to say year 8,
Mm.
just based on like who I was watching it with. I want to say year 8.
That it's giving year 8 activities.
So it would have been like from September 2016. When did it actually come out then in the UK? I think I watched it on DVD, by the way. I think we went out and bought the DVD.
Bro, buying a DVD is a lost start.
I know. So it was probably like 2017 at the latest.
It was,
Um,
yeah, yeah, 20, also like, yeah, it was released on DVD in April 2017.
so probably just after that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, even watching it as literally a like 13-year-old,
Yeah.
I was very much like, wow, this is so like I wish
I
because it
wish LA
does
were
always
real.
have that weird like I think Taylor Swift is my biggest reference point for this. But a
Hmm.
lot of kind of things in 2015, 16-ish had this weird kind of 1950s twinge to it.
Well, no, Taylor was famously doing her 1950s shtick in the
Yeah.
Red era.
But I think like
Iconic
I'm
of the
thinking
Red
La La
era.
Land, you have that kind the yellow dress
The yellow dress, I
in
will,
La La Land,
but
vaguely 50s-esque.
I think the yellow dress also helps with the whole collapsing time moment because I was looking at it, I was like, in that, like, I was watching the entire sequence, and they weren't getting out their phones, and they
Yeah.
weren't. But it was that like technology is there, but it's not like they're on it.
They would have had like the kind of blocky phones still.
I was talking about my iPhone 5C that I had in
Oh
2015.
my God, my iPhone 5C. Oh,
Me and my pink iPhone 5C.
mine was
I
green.
The day I got that, do you want to know where I went? With my mum.
Well,
'Cause it was my birthday, and I was like a child. Got that first iPhone. I went to Topshop on
oh,
Oxford.
oh,
Then should I tell you where I went?
well.
Bubbleology.
Oh my fucking God, I love Bubbleology.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I can say the name of the one I went to more because I don't think it's a brand.
No, it's
It's
not.
just the one. No,
It's
it's
just
not
the
a
one.
brand.
I
But
remember.
you know the one I'm
I
talking
I know
about.
that. I remember before that one opened. Like bubble tea is hitting the market for the first time, guys, and we're all
Yeah.
losing our minds in our own specific ways.
Honestly, can I just say next time we're both back in
We're
London,
getting bubble
can
tea.
we go to this specific shop? Can we
Yes.
like get into Central from that station instead?
Yes.
Okay.
We'd have to take that
We're
line.
getting bubble
We'd
tea.
have to take that line we don't like though.
That's fine. For the bubble tea, it's kind
For
of
the
worth
bubble
it.
tea. Also, we
Like not
walk.
to be 15 years old, but for the bubble tea, it's
But
kind
you
of
know what we
worth it.
used to do with bubble tea?
What?
We used to go, I might cut this, I might not, depending on how I feel. We used to go, me and my friends, we used to go to fucking, where is it? Notting Hill.
Oh my God.
The Bubbleology there.
But I
I've never
want the
been to.
kind of shitty version.
I don't want authentic shit. Co-opted your culture. I'm so sorry. We bastardize it. We do normally when we're in Central, we go to a place in like Chinatown.
Yeah, there's a great bubble tea.
There's a
There's a lot
great
of great
bubble
bubble tea shops
tea
in Chinatown, to
in
be clear.
Chinatown. That's
But there's
normally
one,
where we go. But there's one near where we grew up, which is horrific, but sometimes you just have
it's,
to
oh
have
my
it.
God. It's like
It's
the
just sugar.
most like, I don't know if like whitewashed is even the ver like word to use, but that's what it feels like.
It's just sugar, and you can go in any day of the week, and there will be some random school children in there.
There'll be like a group of three 13-year-old girls,
Yeah.
and they're like looking at the menu and they're like, I think I'm gonna get a like mango fruit tea with like blueberry tapioca, not even blueberry
Blueberry,
popping jelly.
blueberry popping boba, and it like makes no sense together, and you're like, what the
And
fuck?
you know it's going to be disgusting, but you know you're looking at them and it's like, fuck, what a great choice.
I was,
This is the life.
this isn't life. I've been in that queue and run into friends before.
Um,
The amount of people I ran into at that place.
yeah. God. I just want to say though that the bubble tea shop in Chinatown,
Oh, it's so good.
it's got like fake grass in
Oh,
the window.
fake
I don't
grass.
know the name of it,
We don't
but
know
it's
the
got
name of
fake
it.
grass in
It's
the
got
window.
fake always. Yeah, no, I don't think we get to the position of Dear Evan Hansen becoming the success that it was. I think there's a lot that went into Dear Evan Hansen becoming Dear Evan Hansen, unfortunately. However, we don't get to Dear Evan Hansen being what it is without La La Land.
Yeah.
And isn't that crazy that that's the legacy La La Land has left?
La La Land has the legacy of beautiful songs and Dear Evan Hansen.
And the war crime that is Dear Evan Hansen.
Beautiful songs and the Murphy family getting doxxed.
If you ask now, it's one of the greatest scenes of musical theatre ever. Ever.
It's incredible.
Anything else to say on La La Land?
Love it. Love La La Land.
I do like Another Day of Sun. I did just
Another Day of Sun. What is
the City of Stars motif
in
might be one of the greatest things
City
ever.
of Stars? Another Day of Sun. That you've got the invitation.
Oh, someone in the crowd.
Somewhere in the crowd. That one. Also a banger.
You've just gone completely dark.
Sorry, it's because I opened up Spotify to look it up. The screen wasn't a white light of dots.
Yeah, no, same. So it'd be nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Film Editing, Best Original Score, and it would win Best Director, Best Actress, Best Cinematography, Best Original Score, Best Original Song for City of Stars, and Best Costume and Best Production Design. Yeah, of course it's going to win production design. That figure's immaculate.
Yeah. It
It
had the
was
funny Best Picture moment.
discourse abound. I don't care. I do want to watch Moonlight. That's supposed to be very good.
Yeah. I will say, I think that's the thing is I don't ever see anyone talking about Moonlight.
No.
I do see people talking about La La Land.
I think it's the echo chamber we live in, though.
That is definitely a part of it. I'm also friends with a lot of like film bros.
See, I'm really not.
I keep finding this is the thing is it's actually really bad for me because I'll be like, oh my God, we should watch this. And I'm like, oh, I've never seen it, so I'd like to. And they're like, you what? You've never seen it?
When you say you've never seen something, I'm like, I didn't expect you to have.
The big ones that they are mad about. There's obviously shit like The Godfather I've never seen, and they're angry about that.
I've never
But
seen
I
The
think,
Godfather. I have no interest in
yeah,
watching The Godfather. If I'm going to watch a Coppola film, it's going to be The Virgin Suicides
yeah,
or
I
The
think
Last
that
Yoga. I really want to watch
yeah. To be fair, the things they're more annoyed about is when I haven't seen like a very stupid film. Like they're mad I've never seen Elf,
You're never going to see Elf now, are
and
you?
I'm never gonna watch it. Like the angrier people get about me not having seen it, I'm just not gonna watch
I
it.
remember when you first told me, I was like, I'd be surprised if you had watched Elf.
Yeah, just who I am as a person. Why would I watch Elf?
I think Elf
Um,
is like right up my street comedy wise.
I've seen like clips of it.
I mean, it'd
But
be weird if you had.
yeah. So one of my friends was very annoyed because I was like, I watched Avengers
I've never seen any
Infinity
Marvel movies. People are
War.
always shocked by that, and I was like, I have two sisters.
Yeah, I mean me too, but they love it. Whatever the two Avengers films were, they're called like Infinity
Oh,
War and Endgame, but I don't
Endgame.
remember which one came first.
Endgame. Since you want to be assholes for Taylor, Iron Man dies in Endgame.
So Endgame's the second one, I
Yes.
think.
I remember when it came out because everyone lost their goddamned minds.
Yeah. So I watched Infinity War. I've never watched Endgame.
I
And
don't
people
get
get
it.
annoyed by
I
that.
don't get it. And then like
Of
Bartlett
course they
Share
are.
is gonna direct Fork Fountain Draw. They've got some playwrights on board. Please, 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 for the love of God, do not fuck up that piano part. And if done right, I want to know how they're gonna do the set.
Oh yeah.
Because on paper it seems like a very easy um adaptation.
It's just so like whimsical.
It's just so like it's also like a love letter to films.
Yeah. Like I feel like it's gonna be a bit weird to watch on stage.
Yeah, in the same way that like Tick Tick Boom, no one but Lin-Manuel Miranda could have directed Tick Tick Boom because it is such a love letter to musicals.
So I just got sent another text.
Okay.
So I open it.
Sure, I'll be the witness to it.
Anyway. Anyways.
Next week we're doing Bring It On.
And the bad news is he's not in that either.
Best news is here and Bring It On.
And
Yeah.
that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for listening.
For listening. Check us out on social media. I'm back posting
Social
on
media,
TikTok. Nell's posted on
TikTok.
one
I have not.
this month.
Oh yeah, I have.
You have. It's still March. It's still
I
March.
posted on the 2nd of March.
A joke that no one fully understands yet.
Yet.
There's going to
Soon
be a
you
part in an episode which everyone's going to have to be so chill about.
Everyone just has to kind of let it happen.
Everyone kind of has to let it happen and let the knowledge be that and then not talk to me about it because it
And
runs.
then you're not allowed to bring it up to us.
You're not allowed to talk to me about it because I will say stuff that I'm not allowed to say.
Yeah.
Um,
But also Mezzanine.
but also
I
Mezzanine.
wrote a very restrained review.
I didn't talk about something because I was like, I can't. But yeah. Anyway, bye-bye.